For the first time since the 2002 NFL season, the Oakland Raiders have made the playoffs, but unfortunately their postseason might have been cut short due to Derek Carr's injury. Now, when I look at their roster, I look at Latavius Murray, very talented running back. He has a lot of speed and a lot of power, and I think a lot of teams might be interested in him. A lot of teams that are competing for the playoffs, you name it. Obviously, there's not too many true speed running backs out there anymore. Now, when it comes to him, I think that if they do trade him, I think Jalen Richards will obviously take the role. I think he has a lot of power to him. But I also think that maybe they should convert maybe to a receiving back potentially. Obviously, Jalen Richards might be able to do both, but I would definitely consider investing to a receiving back. Maybe Reggie Bush is on the market. I think that's definitely a guy you could go after, and I think he would fit really well. I don't think he's going to be Tyvon Branch well when he was back in the 70s, but I think that's definitely a need right there in addressing. Now, when it comes to the offensive line, I know Donald Penn's getting up there in age. That's definitely a group that they can go up with, and maybe they can possibly trade up in the draft. Since their team is young, you might as well trade up to get a player here. I think mostly an offensive lineman. Can't name any of them specifically on top of my head, but that'll be a good position to upgrade with. And obviously, there's not too many great offensive linemen on the market, but it's definitely something to look at. Now, when it comes to the Raiders defensively, I think they need to improve on the interior. Ian Williams isn't exactly, or Dan Williams isn't exactly like great. So obviously you might look for ends, you might look for a second middle linebacker. I think you got to get strong up the middle because obviously you look at Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is an emerging running back. The Chiefs like to run the ball, and looking how the Broncos are, they're probably going to run the ball too. So that's definitely something that they should look at. And also, when it comes to their defense, I think they need some more depth in the secondary, mostly at cornerback. I think safeties, they're fine. They got a young safety, and they also got a veteran in Nelson. And I look at Sean Smith. He's not a true number one corner, but I think it might be interesting to add Logan Ryan. And what I mean by Sean Smith, he's not really a shutdown guy. I think he could cover the number one receiver at times on a specific tail type, but they should look at Logan Ryan as a potential option right there. So overall, the Raiders, they're mostly going to be relying on development and all that, but also they need to focus on teams that they're going to be seeing in the playoffs in the future. Maybe in the short term, they might see the Steelers in the playoffs, or knowing how good their organization is, that they might be there for a long time. New England Patriots, of course. And they should also look at competing with the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers because I think those are very good teams, or can be very good teams. Obviously, the Chargers aren't that great, but obviously they're not too far away from making pieces. So the Raiders need to stay aggressive this offseason. And obviously, some of it's going to be development, but at the same time, though, you got to be assertive when it comes to attacking these because it's not like they're going to have a cakewalk into the playoffs necessarily. So when it comes to the Raiders, they need to have somewhat of aggression. They don't got too many needs, and it's more about whether they develop more so of what they attack in the offseason. But definitely, I think depth on some positions on the offensive side of the ball and somewhat on the defensive side of the ball. But overall, the Oakland Raiders do have a bright future.